What's going on, guys? Munchlax TCG here, and today we're going to be profiling an expanded deck that I kind of homebrewed up myself. Now, the concept is already out there with all the pro players, and they've been discussing it, but I thought I would take my crack at a list myself, and that is Zoroark Raticate. Now, of course, I'm playing some proxies because I am a college student and don't have the money to buy all the cards at the current time. But if this deck works like I want it to, I'll be paying for the deck. Of course, we play 4 Zora. Now, we actually don't play any DCE, so it doesn't matter what attack we use or what Zora we use, because it's just we won't be able to attack with it. Next, we play 4 Zoroark with the busted ability trade. Once during your turn, you can discard a card from your hand. If you do, you can discard a card from your hand and then draw 2 cards. So that's, of course, going to be one of our main attackers and just our overall draw engine. So, of course, not only are we playing the Zoroark line, but we're also playing 3 Rattatas for our Raticate. Now, Rattata has the ability Mischievous Fang, where when you put this Pokemon down from your hand onto your bench, you can discard all tool cards attached to the active. So if they have a Choice Band on them or a Float Stone, if say you want Guzma up a Garbodor and then play Rattata, they have to discard their Float Stone and then they're stuck. Next, I don't have the Raticates because they're about $10 each, so I'm proxying 2 Raticates. But this one does have the same attack, Super Fang. Essentially what it does is it puts a Pokemon down to 10 HP for a triple colorless. So say if there's a Pikarom in the active, that's hitting 230, or if there's a Wailord Magikarp tag team, that's hitting 190. Alright, now some decks are starting to put in Magearna EX to stop the effect of the attack. So to kind of counteract that, we play a 1-1 Muck Alolan Grimer. Now what Muck has is Power of Alchemy, where each basic Pokemon in play, both your in the hand, the deck, and the discard, or hand, play, discard, have no effect. So that stops Magearna, that stops Shaman EX, that stops Tapu Lele. It stops all the important things. Now going off that, it also stops Execute. And what Execute does is once during your turn before you attack, if this Pokemon is in your discard, you can put it into your hand. So essentially what you want to do is discard the Execute, then propagate with the ability, trade it with Zoroark. Propagate, trade with Zoroark. And just a constant cycle of just doing that. And that's how we're really going to be drawing our cards. Next, we play 1 Ditto Prism. I know it's not the correct Ditto, but all my other Dittos are my other deck, and I didn't want to take them out. So we'll just plop him right there. And now we play, I think this is a pretty spicy deck I play. So most of our ways of dealing damage with Raticate is to get the kill is through Hypnotoxic Laser, which poisons and puts them to sleep. But a hard matchup for us is Trevenant Break, of course. So we play 1 Giratina. Now we play Giratina for the ability. Each Pokemon Break in play has no abilities. This includes the abilities of its previous evolution. So essentially what happens is they're going to evolve into Trevenant Break, and then it just shuts off the ability of the Trevenant, so where they have no trainer. It's trainer lock for me. Next, we play 1 Tapu Lele GX for the Wonder tag. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may search your deck for any supporter, grab it, and put it into your hand. And that's going to conclude it for Pokemon. I know this, looking at now, there can already be improvements I'm seeing. Like, Giratina only shuts off Trevenant Break when it's evolved into the break. So, say they don't evolve into the break, there's nothing we can do. And also maybe I'm thinking about adding a Mr. Mime for bench barriers so that the Raticates aren't dying off the bench and sniping. Going on to the supporters, we'll play 2 Professor Sycamore. One of our other ways to draw, discard draw 7. And then one way we want to attack is with, if there's like big prizers on the bench, we want to try and bring them up and kill them. So we play 2 Guzma to gust up and target the big boys prize-wise. So we play 2 Guzma. And then finally, for our 2 ofs, we play 2 in, just a bit of hand disruption as well. Say if we're behind on prizes and they only have 1 prize card left, we're essentially ending them to 1 card in hand, which can slow down a lot of decks. Going on to our 1-ofs, we play 1 Teammates. This is also a card I'm thinking about cutting again, because you're not really going to be wanting to use it that often. But if one of your Pokemon is KO'd during your last turn, you can search your deck for 2 cards and put them into your hand. So it's a cute idea, it's just could be better. A better card. So I'm just really scared of Item Lock, if you can't tell, because of Trevenant, and we also play Pokemon Ranger for Seismitoad, because Quaking Punch essentially shuts off all of our items, and so that can stop me from not using my Hypnotoxic Laser and essentially shut me down in my path. Next, we play 1 Faba. This is for, say, just getting rid of DCEs or getting rid of float stones on Garbodor so we can get abilities back, or just any other of those ways. And then our final 1-of trainer is Koga's Trap. This is one of the ways we use to get the final blow on with attacking with Raticate. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned and confused, so we can Koga's Trap them, attach energy, and then just Super Fang, and they'll die by poison. Going on to trainers, we play 4 Via Seeker. We're playing a bunch of 1-of supporters, so we're going to want to be able to use them again multiple times instead of just their one use. So to search out our basics, we're not playing a Bridget build. I've gone with 4 Nest Ball. Nest Ball says search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench. So we're not going to be using it per se for Tapu Lele or Execute, but we will be mostly using it for Zora and Rattatas. And now to get our evolution Pokemon, we play 4 Ultra Balls. Discard 2 cards from your hand. If you do, search your deck for any Pokemon and put it into your hand. So essentially what we can do is we can get our Execute into our discard and then propagate Ultra Ball and only have to discard 1 card instead of 2 cards from our hand. That would say if we might have a very important hand. Going on, I don't have my printer hasn't been working, so these are 4 Hypnotoxic Lasers. What Hypnotoxic Laser does is it automatically poisons your opponent's active Pokemon and flip a coin. If heads, they're also asleep. So the sleep's a nice touch, but 9 times out of 10 when we're going to be using Laser, we're going to be killing them with Raticate at the same time. Now to search out our evolutions, our Muck, our Raticate, and Zoroark, we play 3 Evo Soda, which is essentially a way of having the easiest way to search out the evolutions without having to Ultra Ball for them. Now, since I don't actually play any DCEs, so I play 2 Special Charge to recycle our Triple Acceleration energy. Now, I haven't tested this deck at all. This is a rough draft, what I made up with yesterday. But I feel like the Triple Acceleration build is just better because you don't want to be playing DCEs in the sense that if you draw into it and you're trying to attack with Raticate, you could have been like, this could have been the Triple Acceleration instead. So, since we're already discarding Triple Accelerations, we want to have a way of using them multiple times, and that's why we use a Special Charge to get them back. Next, we play 1 Field Blower. Just a way of stadium removal and tool removal for float stones, choice bands, yada yada yada. You've heard it before. Next, we play 1 Computer Search. Now, I don't have a Computer Search, so I'm just using a different aspect. And what Computer Search does is discard 2 cards from your hand. If you do, search your deck for any card and put it into your hand. So it can essentially grab us the missing piece for combos that we need and to speed up the process. Now, since we only play 2 Raticate, we might need to be using it more than once, or if we have to discard 1 early on. So we play 1 Rescue Stretcher. What Rescue Stretcher does is put a Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand, or you may shuffle 3 Pokemon from your discard pile and put them into your deck. In wrapping up the trainer cards, we play 1 Battle Compressor. Now, what we play Battle Compressor for is essentially discarding our execute, or we can use Bell Compressor away our Koga's Trap via Seeker Koga's Trap to also do the same thing. It's just a way of speeding it up and making the process easier to find the 1-0 supporters that we have trouble finding sometimes. Now, next we play 2 Shrine of Punishments. Those, of course, aren't Shrine of Punishments. It's just the stadium I grabbed. But we play Shrine of Punishments as a way of not having, if we're item locked, I won't have to rely on laser, but I can go Koga's Shrine of Punishment attack and still get the knockout. So we have ways of getting around it while item locked. It's just with not being item locked, it's a lot easier to get off. And wrapping up, like I said, we play 1, 2, 3, 4 triple acceleration. Now, I already know this is not the most optimal list at all. I know there's multiple changes I can be making, like I'm not playing any choice bands or float zones, which is a real problem I've realized. And I think I might add a couple DCEs for the idea of, say if we start Lele or Giratina or Grimer or anything that's not Rattata, Zora, Ditto, it's just we're not going to be able to retreat. We're going to be stuck. We're going to have to Guzma out, which is never a good idea. So that's going to do it today, guys. This is my Raticate Zoroark, and I really like the deck. I feel like once I nail down my 60, this could be a real contender. I think about playing for the regionals coming up. And I'm super excited for it. I think I'm really going to enjoy this deck. And I'll talk to you guys later. Remember to like and subscribe and ring the bell, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.